I'm a HESLO Sling pilot with Skyhook Helicopters in Scotland. We've been flying the 3 B3s for a number of years now, etc. And I've been flying for probably around about 20 years. I've done a couple of other jobs as well. I've worked for our competitors, police, air ambulance, worked offshore. I've worked Germany, Austria and Switzerland. And finally now here with Skyhook. I think it's a really good fun job. There's lots of variety, it's real hands-on flying, which I think in this day and age it's a lot less common, certainly in the UK. There's lots of different types of work. We do a little bit of survey, we do a bit of film work, but primarily sling sides of stuff. HESLO 1, HESLO 2, HESLO 3 and 4 as well. Obviously HESLO 1, HESLO 2 is the length of line. So HESLO 1's less than 20 meters, HESLO 2 is above that. HESLO 3 sort of specialized line stringing, line pulling. We have HESLO 3 live fish transfers that we do in the UK. HESLO 4 construction, precision lifting. Where we excel as a company, we specialise in the long line work, so the HESLO 2 and the HESLO 4. So mast, precision construction work, anything that requires an advanced level of flying skill to build masts. We build data masts, met masts, they may be 120, 140 metres high. We pour concrete into confined areas, we've built houses. We've really done pretty much anything you can imagine that can be done with a helicopter. So whilst this is our bread and butter, a little bit of peatland restoration work, so it's all HESLO 1, we pride ourselves in being able to provide a precision lift capability across the UK and Ireland. It was born of a construction company in the west coast of Scotland. They bought an aircraft primarily to oversee their construction side of the business, mostly hydro schemes, that sort of thing. And then they've devolved from that because they've realised the usefulness of an aircraft, specifically in Scotland. We don't have the terrain and the topography like the Alps, but we definitely have a requirement for a light lift, 1 to 1.2 ton capability. And from that, TSL, our parent company, effectively grew. A few years ago, they bought a second aircraft. And then recently, in the last 6 months, we bought this aircraft that I'm sat now. So it's a brand new H125 B3. And from that, we've got these 3 aircraft that we utilise primarily for sling work. And we are busy. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, we are busy. I think Scotland are pretty good at managing the wildfires. The moment it gets above about a hectare in terms of size, they'll call a helicopter. The south of the UK, England, not so good. I think in certain districts and in certain areas, possibly towards the sort of middle spine that's got slightly higher ground, sort of Lancashire, that sort of area, I think they understand and they know what they can do with it, what they can do with a helicopter. Beyond that, I think it needs quite a lot of education because there is insurance for this. If you can educate them and you're aware of what an aircraft can do, a helicopter can do in the hands of a competent pilot, it makes a hell of a difference, I've never flown in Canada or North America, and I know how they fight fires is very procedural and it's very formulaic in so much as that there's a series of rules, etc. We're not like that, and I think we're not like that because we've not had the input from North America. I think it'd probably be quite useful as an industry if we did. But yeah, as I say, Scotland, pretty good. They're kind of on it. So they'll call us fairly fast. So Scotland's quite a large area. It's quite a big landmass, and in Scotland we can get 4 seasons in one day. It's very rare that the weather pitches up. You get a week of absolute fantastic weather. A lot of your time is spent very low level, operating in very marginal conditions. It's difficult. It's also difficult because there's not many landing sites, there's not many fuel locations, there's not very good radio communications, certainly on the west coast when you're low level. It makes it difficult. And therefore, when you look at the likes of pilots, less so the HESLO side of things, but look like recruiting pilots, it's hard to find people with a skill set to operate single pilot in some very remote parts of the UK. We have quite a significant number of islands out over to the west side. There are large transits over bodies of water. Some people are not comfortable with that. It doesn't really bother me, to be perfectly honest. But taking into account the weather contingents, the decision making from the pilot side is difficult. It can be difficult. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to get paid to do anything, get paid to do your hobby, I think is the key.